Doctors say it's not uncommon for people to have that reaction.
Nice.
Vermelho. Sabe por quê? Olha,
I will not get the third shot. I will not. Pfizer me once, no shame. Pfizer me twice, shame on COVID. Pfizer me 3 times, shame on you. You want me to get a third shot? What's next? A 5th shot? No, thank you.
Canadian comedian Nick Nemiroff has died. He was 32 years old.
I don't mean to brag, I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm gonna be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes! Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice, so nice.
One of the saddest lessons of history is this. If we've been bamboozled long enough, we tend to reject any evidence of that bamboozle. We're no longer interested in finding out the truth. The bamboozle has captured us. It's simply too painful to acknowledge, even to ourselves, that we've been taken. Once you give charlatans power over you, you almost never get it back. These are probably all just coincidences, and I'll just say a little quick thing for YouTube so I don't get censored. The vaccine is extremely effective and has very low amounts of side effects. And if anything I'm saying contradicts the World Health Organization or FDA, you must follow them, not me, okay? You know, there's the 1,300 extra deaths per week not contributed to COVID in the UK. This number is, and that's a worldwide phenomenon, but these numbers are from UK. In the marathon, there's all these people falling down and having heart conditions. One man dies. The first marathon since COVID. You know, Pfizer wanted to release the documents in 70 years. The damning documents that are showing some dark things that they knew about, but still were giving this to people. Pfizer is the biggest criminal lawsuit that has ever been paid out was from Pfizer. So they're literally, when it comes to money and probably deaths, they're the biggest criminals that I've ever seen the world, potentially. Remember, everything I'm saying is my opinion. You know, these are actual things that are true, but and it's like a lot of us know that right from the beginning that this was off. It's just an intuitive feeling, that like connection that said this is not happening. This is too weird. Like, it looks staged. Everything just rang out lunacy to me. So I followed that. You know, but then I saw all these people falling for it, and I started to get really passionate about spreading the word and being like, you guys, we have to get away from this thing. This is not good. Like, you guys we don't know what this is going to do, right? There's no long-term effects or side effects able to be looked at, and now we're starting to see numbers coming out, and it's, you know, I'm not wanted to even talk about this situation, because I kind of was like, I got so passionate that I realized as I was getting frustrated and angry, and I was getting out of my spirit, and I needed to realize is not everybody is going to understand or know this, and a lot of people are just not going to accept this kind of darkness. Just think, there's two options here. You have somebody that you've been trusting for 100 years, your government and your healthcare and stuff like that, and somebody's telling you that it might have just been all of it, not all of it, but like a ton of it is just for money and they're actually harming us. Like, that's a big pill to swallow, right? A lot of people would rather just think of the first one, you know? And I think about a lot of people were involved. Oh, Gandhi. A lot of people were involved with talking people into getting the vaccine and othering the unvaccinated and doing all the dark things that a lot of us have said to ourselves, how did those things happen in the past? And those things started to happen. And a lot of people actually even talked children into getting these vaccines. So they're not going to admit they're bamboozling, because then they'd have to admit what part evil that they were a part of, right? But the thing is that's where their healing is, and that's where they can jump out of that matrix. Is they have to accept it. So I wonder, a lot of people are like, oh, there must be something in the vaccine that's causing people to lose their connection to their spirit, or they're just not thinking properly and stuff like that. Because look at them, they're just following and it's so obvious. And of course, there's toxins in the vaccine, and when a body is fighting off toxins, then it's going to have less energy to put into other places like your mind and those things. So as we have fear, pressure on the body, we don't get to see the spirit. But beyond that, I think it's mostly psychological. It's like the beginning I started there with, that when they've been bamboozled, and they've been bamboozled long enough, and they've been so a part of it that they've actually been pushing that on other people, especially those people. They're likely the ones that are going to be farthest from accepting it. And maybe these are the people that are going to be living in that old reality, and that for probably 9 to 12 more years before that world ends, And I think about these things, like we look at the end of the King Tut and Akhenaten. He was trying to change everybody's life over to the way he wanted it. Changing them to a monotheistic religion, away from all these traditions that have been there for thousands of years. And if you compare that to what's happening now, these people like Bill Gates and these people that are like building and forcing people into this new reality, well, that didn't work in the past. Yes, they did. Akhenaten did build a city, but it only lasted for, and many people followed him because of how amazingly, really quick he built these cities, and he was making the things happen that he was saying, as these people that are running the world have the power to do. They can make the reality that they prophesize, right? So they're seeing that reality, so they follow them. But what happened in that story? That city only lasted for 30 years, and it crumbled to the ground, and nobody lived in it again. So the way that people make prophecies is they look to the past, and I know there's different reasons, but there's many times in the past where people split away from an old culture and went off and started new ones. That's where we're at now. The people living in the old world, which is the one that they perseverate all their thoughts from their television or from their tablets, phones, that's the old world. And if people keep falling for all that stuff, then they're not going to be able to transcend it and ascend to the new world, right? This is what the rapture is. A lot of people are like, it's going to be a big explosion that destroys the world, and all the saints are going to be taken away before it happens, and they're going to be taken away before tribulations. No, well, tribulations happen different times for different cultures. The tribulations happened here in the 1700s and 1800s when they were colonized. That's when true pestilence hit. That's when they truly put people on the mark of the beast. We're like, you take this and you pay our taxes and you work with us, or else you don't get to be a part of our thing. Like, all these stories are happen. They rotate in times. You know, the Mayans, the same kind of story happened to them. There's an end times, and there, when you look at these stories, we have to know this one is very much different than those old stories, because sure, they can pass information around really quickly with the internet, and they can make a totalitarian system come to power very quickly because of that. But also, we pass information around very quickly now because of the internet. And that means it's going to fall quicker than ever before. So just keep being your truth. We don't need to do too much trying, like, just be in the flow right now. We're in a middle stage right now, and there's a lot of intense energies, and we kind of have to stay grounded. And that's where we're at this point. You know, we got to stay grounded. You know, don't let people pull you in to their games. Stay in your heart. Stay in your truth. Spend a lot of time with nature right now. Spend a lot of time with people that are helping lift you up. You know, that's what's going to push you and ascend you to the higher consciousness, where none of these problems can affect us the same way. Okay, well, much love, and, you know, sorry I had to start this video with this stuff, but this needed to be talked about eventually, and we have to start, I don't know, I guess just talking about it. Much love, and God bless you all.